not of your chromosomes, but of your intellectual capacity. These girls were thrilled. But we called up the donor of the $10,000 to give me a report. And he seemed surprised that we were calling from China. And he said, "You just don't understand how far your money, how far $10,000 can go in rural China." Well, he kind of gasped. He said, $10,000? Well, it turns out that he had only tried to wire $100. But the bank had a little trouble with that decimal point. So we later figured that banker was probably put in charge of subprime mortgages. You figure? So we didn't know what to do. We figured, okay, at the end of the, we just taken $10,000 down there to work out this deal. We figured at the end of the month or end of the quarter, the bank was going to be reconciling its accounts. And, well, and certainly after our call with this guy, it was going to go over and they were going to try to get that money back. We didn't know what to do. You couldn't imagine telling all these girls, "Oh, sorry, it was all a banking error in New York." We couldn't do that. I'm a little bit embarrassed about what I did. If there are any would-be journalists here, please shut your ears for a moment. I called up the chief spokesman for the bank, Morgan Guarantee, and I knew him, and I explained exactly what had happened. They made this error. They were probably going to discover it soon. In the meantime, the girls were counting on it to get the first promise of education they'd ever had. And then I sort of let slip the follow-up article I was working on. I said, "Now, on the record, are you going to try to get that $9,900 back and force all these girls to drop out of school?" And he didn't miss a beat. He said, "On the record, under the circumstances, we're delighted to make a donation of the difference." So that was 1990, and we've been back periodically to this village to see what has transpired since. And it's been fascinating. Obviously, since 1990, all of China, all of the big provinces prospered tremendously. Education rates have grown tremendously. But this village has really been transformed far and away all the others. Dai Manju herself became the first person in her family to graduate from elementary school, from middle school, from high school, then earned an accounting degree. Went down to Guangdong province in the south, became an accountant in a large firm. After 10 years, then left and started her own accounting firm, smaller firm. Meanwhile, sending money back, it was used to start small businesses in the community. And likewise, there were so many other girls in this village who otherwise would have ended up being dropouts and ended up herding goats or working in rice fields, who ended up getting a great education and then great jobs in ways that didn't just benefit them, but benefited truly the entire community. It really created this virtuous spiral of development, so that when you visit all these villages in this area in the Gabian Mountains, this one stands out way above the others, all because of a one-time banking error 23 years ago. And it was experiences like that that really got me thinking about the power of educating girls, bringing them into the formal labor force, out of the margin of society, the leverage that you get from that kind of change. And the more we began to report on these issues, then the more we began to think this is really a major, major issue. When we started out as foreign correspondents, we would never have imagined that we'd be writing a book on this. But more and more, it really seemed to us central to so many issues that were very important to us.